Cody Rhodes and Carmelo Hayes completely botches a move at the end of Friday Night SmackDown. And I'm going to tell you right now, I really hope when they test Cody Rhodes' shoulder, the results come back negative. He landed very awkwardly on that shoulder. You seen the pain in his face, and I don't even want to say he was selling it. That hurt. That completely hurt. It looked ugly, and I would say it looked embarrassing. I'm pretty sure they was embarrassed a little bit, but these are professionals. These are guys who do this day in, day out. They are performing at the highest level, so I'm sure they did that move a million times at the performance center, practicing, at live shows, at live events, PLEs. It's just sometimes botches happen. And it just so happened to be the main event, WWE Draft. We supposed to be bringing a new era in, the new Raw roster, the new SmackDown roster. And this is a big match for Carmelo Hayes. And just to have an ugly botch like that, oh, man. I hope that Cody Rhodes is okay and he's 100% moving forward. That will be one of the worst things to happen right now for Cody Rhodes. He's at the pinnacle of his career. He's at the top of his game. He just finished the story. But like he said in SmackDown, getting the title, that's one thing. And it's a very hard thing to do. But it pales in comparison to keeping the title. And that's where you separate the good from the great. So after he just mentioned that and the turnaround and have a botch move like that and run the risk of vacating the title, because I'm going to tell you right now about these shoulder injuries. You could look it up. Shoulder injuries are very awkward. They're very weird. It could go one way. It could go another way. And another thing, too, injuring your shoulder, that's like one of the easiest injuries to get. You know, it doesn't take much for your shoulder to injure. So the way he landed, how hard he landed, and it seemed like they called the match off a bit early, if I'm not mistaken. Nah, he hit his finisher and all. So maybe the match did, and they only had a few moves left in the match. It was like 5 minutes left in the show or whatever. But man, that was, unfortunately, for me, that was the highlight of the night. But I don't even want to say highlight. That was just the biggest takeaway for me. And I'm actually surprised that it's not a lot of people online really talking about this. I just made the short about it, but I'm like, am I bugging? Am I the only one who's seen? I know people laughing about the botch move. I really don't think that's funny. I'm not really answering comments who think that's funny. These are two real human beings who really putting work in the ring. I hate to see botch moves, to be honest, especially when somebody seems like they're hurt, and especially when it's Cody Rhodes, one of my favorite wrestlers right now. It's like, nothing is funny, nothing is good about this. WWE, if Cody Rhodes is hurt, let's hope he's not. But if he is injured, there needs to be a conversation that has to be had, because this is too many top stars now. Jimmy Uso, Rhea Ripley. I don't even want to say Cody Rhodes yet, but we got Charlotte Flair on the injured reserve. You got Seth Rollins on the top stars are getting injured, and I can't even believe CM Punk. Now, injuries are just a part of the game. We know that. But something has to happen. I don't know what it is. That's above my pay grade, to be honest. I don't know if we need different mats. I don't know if we need a less demanding schedule. I don't know if we need new regimens. I don't know if people need seasons now. We don't know. But this is not a good look. If Cody Rhodes is injured, Let's get into SmackDown tonight. Bobby Monsoon, 215. Like, comment, subscribe. SmackDown, WWE Draft. Another filler show. I'm not that mad tonight, to be honest. I'm not like, I don't got the lazy energy right now. And I also don't got the whole mad energy. I kind of got a nervous energy, if I have to be honest, just because I don't want to keep beating a fucking dead horse. But man, that Cody shit just really kind of, I'm uneasy about that, So I'm kind of, we're going to go over this show, a filler show. I'm not going to be too animated, not even animated. I'm not going to be too emotional about these shows coming up, especially with Backlash, because this is a filler pay-per-view. I knew the Raws were going to be filler, the SmackDowns were going to be filler, and it's a little bit disappointing, but I'm trying to take what I could get from it. WWE has to produce a program 365 days a year, and they're going through a big transition going into the Netflix era. So I just know creative, Triple H, TKO, everyone has a lot dealing with their hands, and everyone has a lot on their hands. Everyone has a lot on their plate, I should say. So I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. This show was definitely lackluster. This wasn't a show that was going to move the needle. It wasn't none of that. The show starts off, Paul Heyman, he announces Roman Reigns is withdrawing from the draft. Now, I see a lot of people a little bit up in arms over this, Roman Reigns withdrawing from the draft. Why? Who cares? Roman Reigns is fresh off one of the greatest title reigns of all time. Like literally, he was on the cusp of breaking Hulk Hogan's record. Roman Reigns have moved up to the upper echelon. You got superstars like Seth Rollins, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes. But after superstar, you start reaching the legendary status. Roman Reigns has reached that status. That's why WrestleMania 41, if it comes to fruition where The Rock versus Roman Reigns, it doesn't need no title to be on the line. Cody, you want the title? Have it. Finish your story. That makes sense. Roman being the tribal chief is good enough. The Rock, what do they call The Rock? Is he the high chief? The Rock being the high chief is good enough. That's the story right there. He still will get treated as a champion, and if not, he'll be treated even that much more just because of the feat he just came off of and the task he's about to go on now, going against the final boss, if that's the direction they go. I think it'll be fire, but we'll have to see. He withdraws from the draft. Okay. Corey Graves introduces AJ Styles versus Cody Rhodes. I was always on the fence about AJ Styles. I ain't gonna lie. It was like he was cool. I remember when he first came, it was a nice little run. Then it just kind of flatlined for me, and I blame a lot of that on creative because AJ Styles is such a great talent. Then it just kind of flatlined. Then he did the thing with The Undertaker, which was a classic match. Undertaker last match. I think that was the 2020 WrestleMania with no crowd, and they did the movie thing. Then he's just the same old AJ Styles. He gets hurt, but he comes back. Look like he spent every single day, every single hour, every single minute he was off in that gym. And his physique is just impeccable. AJ Styles looked like a monster. And he's one of the smaller high flyer guys. So he's still doing these high flying moves. He's still very athletic. Man, AJ Styles, he's looking good out there. He's really growing on me. I'm not gonna lie. I know y'all gonna get mad. Well, AJ Styles been that dude. I agree. He had a great run on TNA. He had a great run WWE. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I'm just saying, for me personally, it was just like okay. But I like this buff kind of AJ Styles. I like him, man. And Cody Rhodes and him, they're in the ring. He starts off by cutting a good promo talking about how Dusty taught him a lot. He actually seemed like he was getting choked up, and he really tried to hold back tears because, you know, him and Dusty fought 10 years ago on TNA, maybe 12, around that time on TNA. So he had a relationship with Cody's dad. He has a relationship with Cody. It's a lot of respect there. And so he signs the paperwork. That's basically what he said. Cody says to him versus AJ Styles is not just a dream match, it's a must win. Now let me think about this. What y'all think about this, right? I know Carmelo and Cody, they didn't botch that move on purpose. That was 100%. Oops, that was an accident. They didn't mean to do that. Now, I'm trying to think of a situation where maybe they did mean to do it and Cody is selling the shoulder and he wants us to believe his shoulder is hurt. So there might be a possibility he dropped the belt at Backlash. I don't know. Because if he's really hurt, like say if he's hurt to the level of Rhea Ripley was hurt, then he might have to vacate that title, or he might could go through with one more match. Who knows? But if he's okay, he might try to sell this because no one fucking believes that AJ Styles is going over in Backlash. No one believes that. This is the only way to put that slither of a doubt in any of the fans' minds of AJ might go over because of that shoulder. And that's where you told the lines of story writing and reality, because he probably really hurt his shoulder. But the storyline and part of it is, he still has a banged up shoulder, but somehow Cody Rhodes, he defeats all the odds and he retains the title, and yay, you know how it go. Well, see, that'll be an interesting development in this story. Cody Rhodes at the end of the segment does the same Cody thing. Oh, shake my hand. Let's shake and let's be. I don't know. I wish he stopped trying to go for handshakes. Triple H, he interrupts Cody Rhodes. So Cody Rhodes kissing babies, signing autographs, shaking hands, doing the whole politician thing. Triple H interrupts Cody Rhodes. And he says, yeah, man, I figured you out here. Let's go introduce the first round of the NBA, the WWE draft. First pick, SmackDown picks. The bestest, Bianca Belair. Good pick. Raw pick Jey Uso, actually. Main event Jey Uso. SmackDown picks Carmelo Hayes, which is, we see why, so they could build to this segment of what they're doing at the main event. Because first when I said Carmelo Hayes, I'm like, no LA Knight, nobody from the bloodline, you went straight to NXT. I like Carmelo Hayes getting that rub though, because it brings importance to Carmelo Hayes. It brings oh shit, he always got that. I was the first male pick of this SmackDown roster. So Then you had Seth Rollins staying on Raw. Nothing to really write home about this draft. Carmelo Hayes, he interrupts Cody Rhodes and he asked for a title shot. And he said, man, I don't miss when it comes to shots. Cody says, all right, I'll give you a title shot, another handshake. So they do that. Rey Mysterio, they go to commercial. Rey Mysterio versus Dragon Lee. Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee versus Legado del Fantasma. This is another filler match. My God, they're running this storyline into the fucking ground. I don't give a fuck about this story no more. I never did really, but man, like this shit is getting so corny. We can't find nothing else better for them to do right now. Long story short, Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio won. Escobar shows Carlito. He comes out, Santos Escobar. He says, I didn't attack Dragon Lee. He shows on the Titantron what everybody knew. Carlito attacked the Dragon Lee backstage. And everybody's looking and the crowd is lukewarm and everybody's just looking around. Carlito's like acting all confused. Then he starts attacking Dragon Lee out of nowhere and runs into the crowd. Excuse me, I ain't gonna lie, man. This shit is horrible. I don't like none of this. I wish they would have just scrapped that storyline, pulled the Vince McMahon, just pivot somewhere else, and let's not even mention Dragon Lee being attacked. Let's act like we don't even know what that's about yet. That shit was ass, man. Braun Breaker versus Cedric Alexander. I don't even know why I remember this dude's name, but I want to see Cedric Alexander. Something about him, you could tell when certain wrestlers get in the ring. It's like I wanted to see more of his work. I wish they didn't just completely job Cedric Alexander for Braun Breaker. At least give him like 2-3 minutes. But it was another squash match. It probably lasted about no more than 3 seconds. Like this shit, these squash matches is just. Let's start seeing Braun Breaker work now. Okay, there's been enough squash matches. Let's see him work. Don't try to do the Goldberg thing. Don't try to do the undefeated thing. I think he needs to lose very early. And he needs to start getting himself into some compelling storylines. We're all going to get sick of him just jobbing every week. He comes with a lot of intensity, but can you keep that intensity up? Can you tell a story throughout the whole match for 15 minutes? Can you go up and down, or is it just one mode? I mean, he did a good job at NXT. This is the big leagues now. So let's see what he could do on this level. Tiffany, she asked for a title match. Nick says, okay, you'll get a title match, but you got to beat Naomi one-on-one. So Tiffany Stratton versus Naomi again later on tonight. Commercial. Michelle B. Cool and Tori Wilson does the second round picks. SmackDown gets Randy Orton. Raw gets Braun Breaker. This is when the jobbing ends, and it better end. SmackDown was doing the jobs. Now he got drafted to Raw. Put him over at Raw. I would have him and Shinsuke straight start feuding from the rip. Braun Breaker, Shinsuke Nakamura, and I'll have this be a feud for over the next month or two, and I'll have Shinsuke really playing mind games with Braun Breaker, fucking with him, you know what I mean, just on another level, you know, hitting him with the poison, costing him matches and opportunities. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Braun Breaker could be a very compelling story. Shinsuke with the strong style, and since they've been fucking burying him the past few weeks and months, and I think the whole 2023 was just a burial fest for Shinsuke. This is the year where they could kind of rebuild Shinsuke up as a strong character, and also continue to build Braun Breaker up as this fucking monster in the game. I think that's what they should do, but we'll see. SmackDown gets Nia Jax. Raw gets Liv Morgan. I like SmackDown getting Nia Jax. I think Tiffany Stratton and her might be best friends. It's good to see them together. We're going to see them tagging. I think those are going to be good matches. I think their chemistry is going to be awesome. We'll see what goes from there. Raw gets Liv Morgan and... Oh, that's how I feel, to be honest. Okay, like I don't know. What are y'all gonna do with Liv Morgan? Is she gonna? I guess she's gonna get the title at some point, and it's gonna be her versus Ripley. I don't know, but it's cool. Solo Sikoa pulls up, all black Jeep, black gloves, same dapper suit from last week. He asked Paul Heyman didn't open the door. Solo Sikoa didn't like that. He pulls up on Paul Heyman and asks him straight up, bro, what's the details? Bloodline ain't get drafted yet? He was like, nah, not yet, man. People don't know what the bloodline is. You changing shit. Then as they having that dialogue, Tama Tonga, he comes out and Paul Heyman starts acting all nervous. Then Kevin Owens comes out of nowhere, get that lick back on Tama and Solo Sikoa. So they fighting backstage. Goes to commercial. Bianca Belair cuts promo. Damage Control interrupts. Jade Cargill comes out and they have this high school argument in front of everybody near the entrance. Now, just to touch on this a bit, it's no way the Kabuki Warriors, Damage Control, is beating Belair and Jade Cargill. We could see it from a mile away. SmackDown, WWE, they want to push this. They're getting a lot of good publicity. And even besides that, Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair, just the visual of that is just, it's just money. It's just money. I could see them in a Snickers commercial. I could see them in a Slim Jim commercial. I could see them in a Prime commercial. I could see them doing advertisements very well. They look like a very strong tag team, and I'm really interested in seeing how they're gonna go moving forward. So as they're literally arguing like high school people back and forth. Then Kevin Owens and Tama, they're fighting all the way to the ring. So they come outside, they're fighting, and I think they're setting it. No, I forgot. Nick Aldis addressed that. We gonna get to that. Solo jumps in, then Randy Orton helps. So it's building, leaning towards a 2-on-2, which is obvious. I thought they was going to go with Tama and Kevin Owens, but Tama's brand new. We going to see him before we get him under the lights. It's good to just ease him in a tag match in France and see how that does. But if you've seen Tama Tonga old work, you know he's more than qualified to pull off what he needs to pull off on the big stage. So I doubt that'd be any type of problem. Bubba Ray and Devon Dudley doing round 3 of the draft. SmackDown gets LA Knight. Raw gets Ricochet. SmackDown gets the Bloodline. Raw gets Sheamus. And this is the point where I'm like, come on, bro. Like, I feel like that was a waste of TV time. Okay, everything stayed the same. The crowd, no one popped. It was just like, oh, that's what happened. Everybody just stayed in there. Like, come on, shake this shit up a bit. SmackDown already has LA Knight. Raw already has Ricochet. Like, shake this shit up, bro. That shit was boring. Naomi versus Tiffany Stratton. They have a good match. You know, they're both good workers. The match gets interrupted by Nia Jax, and she starts whipping everyone's ass. Then we hit for the week in a row. The prettiest moonsault in the world gets hit on Nia Jax and Bayley at the same time. Bayley did some great selling, and they booking Tiffany strong. She's not going to beat Bayley at Backlash because they're going to have to build her up a lot more, but I wouldn't mind if they threw a curveball and put the strap on her at Backlash, because this is such a filler, predictable pay-per-view that a curveball wouldn't hurt. Now we got John Bradshaw Layfield and Teddy King giving out the last round of the drafts. And we got SmackDown AJ Styles, Raw, Alpha Academy, SmackDown Andrade, Raw, Kiana James. I think I'm pronouncing her name right. I don't know. I don't even care, to be honest. I never heard of this woman. I don't watch NXT like that. People saying she's good. I'm going to check her out, but I never heard of her. I don't care. And this is the last person getting drafted tonight. Why not shake this shit up a little bit more? She should have went a little bit earlier, maybe when they was naming the drafts with Bubba Ray and Devon. I don't know. I don't care. That was like a horrible way to end the draft off, but fuck it. Main event. After commercial break, Carmelo Hayes versus Cody Rhodes, a great match until it wasn't. A great match until it wasn't. Man, I know they're both in the back like it's always a little. Dang, it's like fucking up. Like, you don't want to fuck up, man. Like, if you got a job or if you're a creative and you just fuck up when the light's on in front of everybody, it's just, no matter how many times you do it, how many times, you're gonna have them fucking times where just mistakes happen. And a move was botched. They tried to do the Logan Paul and Ricochet move. You know, when Logan Paul and Ricochet both, met each other in the middle of the ring and did some crazy ass spot. They tried to do that, but the timing was completely off. And I don't know if it was simultaneously. I don't know if it was Cody's fault. I don't know if it was Carmelo's fault. Cody's the champ, so even if it was Cody's fault, Carmelo is just, it doesn't look good on it. This is his shot, really. We knew he wasn't winning, but he needed to have a fucking good match, just a solid match. They already fuck with Carmelo. He needed to have a solid match and just keep building momentum. But with a botch like this, it's just now we got to worry about seeing this shit all over the internet. And that's if Cody Rhodes isn't injured. If Cody Rhodes is injured, this story starts taking a different turn. I don't even want to I don't know, man. I didn't like that botch at all, to be honest. As I said before, man, I really hope that Cody Rhodes isn't injured. I hope it was just a hard landing. He throws some ice on it. You know, he gets back to continuing his reign. But if he is injured, we're going to see how bad it is, and we're going to cover that also. You know, it's Bobby Monsoon 215. At the end, we closing in on 300 subscribers. Go back to my first few videos. I said, yo, man, I'm doing it for my 7 subscribers. Now we at 300, and I appreciate y'all rocking with me, man. Like I always say, anything y'all want to discuss, I'm always replying in the comments, man. So if you want to troll, you want to say some crazy shit, you want to say some cool shit, if you want to link up and just chop it up in wrestling, I'll fuck around, text you my number, and call you or some shit like that, man. I'm just here so we could talk about this wrestling. And while I'm at the end of this, let me touch on this AEW situation. People keep asking me what I'm feeling about that Swerve Strickland. Like, yo, is AEW doing the right thing with Swerve Strickland? And I just want to say, let AEW cook right now. We got Tony Khan taking bumps. We got him now playing as a character. We got his dad in it. We got Tony Khan at the NFL draft selling it. Swerve Strickland, I say just give it time. Okay, he didn't cut the promo on Dynamite. He's gonna cut a promo on Collision. I know that's the B show, but just let them figure it out as they go. I think we be wanting AEW to be this perfect thing, but you got to remember, these dudes are all new of being in this position. I don't even think they even know what this is yet. They're creating it as it goes, and they're going against a juggernaut, like not even just WWE. They're going against WWE and UFC. They're going against TKO. It's not like WWF versus WCW. They are battling something that's 100 times bigger than what the WWF was at that end. So they have to pull all the stops, and you can't really expect them to be perfect. I think Swerve Strickland is in good hands. I think his title reign is in good hands, and I think they're going to do the right thing as far as Swerve Strickland and what they got planned for him. That's my touch on AEW, because people be like, oh, talk about AEW a little bit more. I got y'all. Bobby Monsoon 215, like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to see y'all Monday. Draft night, part 2. I hope it's a lot better than part 1, because this shit was, I'm out of here, man. Bah!